Just for a little proper context on what we're dealing with here today, well, rather a little bit more of an extrapolation on the insanity that has overwrought the United States Armed Forces. You remember this Marine here, right? Stuart Scheller, sorry, my mistake. He had the audacity, right, to speak out against Lloyd Austin, Mark Milley, all the guys who were in charge of the botched Afghanistan withdrawal, and just said, hey, can one of these leaders take a look at, maybe accepting some responsibility with the fucking casualty numbers that we're seeing out of there? Maybe that would be cool, because I don't think I need to be a part of the United States Marine Corps anymore if nobody wants to step up and take responsibility for this absolute atrocity that has happened. Well, for being the only guy who can make sense in the fucking room, he's been thrown in the brig over it. United States Marine who blasted hasty Afghan withdrawal in military lockup, because obviously he is. United States Marine Lieutenant Colonel Stuart Scheller, who was relieved of his duties after publicly exonerating, the chaotic U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan last month, is now being held in military prison. His father revealed Monday. Scheller gained wide public notice in August when he released a public video ripping into the hasty retreat. Now left the country to fall into the hands of the Taliban terrorists. As Breitbart News reported, he further demanded public accountability from his senior leadership on the botched withdrawal process. So, now his father has told Task and Purpose magazine, I guess, the officer is held under guard in the brig, because of course he is. All our son did was ask questions that everybody was thinking about, but they were too scared to speak out loud, Stu Scheller Sr. told the news outlet. He was asking for accountability. In fact, he has even asked for an apology if they have made mistakes, but they couldn't do that, which is mind-blowing, the elder Scheller said, adding that his son is due to appear before a military hearing on Thursday, so tomorrow. Jesus, I'm all over the place, a couple days from now. In a statement, Marine Corps spokesman Captain Sam Stevenson told Task and Purpose that Scheller is currently in pretrial confinement in the regional brig for the Marine Corps installation east aboard Marine Corps based Lejeune, pending an Article 32 preliminary hearing. He said the date and time and the locations of the proceedings have not been determined. Lieutenant Colonel Scheller will be afforded all due process. Yep. So he's being held accountable, but what about the people he was trying to call out, right? How about Milley for taking any of the responsibility? Yeah, no, he's going to get away with all of this shit scot-free, obviously. He even confirmed today, like it's been confirmed through his people as well, that yeah, no, he called his Chinese counterpart to give him the heads up that, hey, you know what, if Trump was going to do anything, it's not like he was fucking planning on doing anything anyways. We'll just go ahead and give you a heads up, because that's definitely not treason. Yeah, no, he confirmed it today at the Senate hearing, which is going to be at the crux of this video here, but I just can't believe this. He's going to get away with it. They're all going to get away with all of this shit. The past 2 fucking years, they're going to get away with all of it at the end of it, and that's why I wake up every morning and just feel a little bit fucking worse about the situation we find ourselves in, not just because I live in one of the fucking provinces in the world with some of the most strictest fucking restrictions for no good fucking reason, but hey, all these cunts are going to get away with all of these fucking atrocities scot fucking free. A highest-ranking U.S. military official admitted on Tuesday that he told a Chinese general last year that the United States was not going to attack China. Cool. General Mark Milley, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, told the congressional panel that he was certain in October 2020 that then-President Donald Trump did not intend to attack the Chinese. So why'd you make the other phone call on January 8th, I think? Yeah. Milley then said, Defense Secretary Mark Esper directed him to convey that intent to General Li Zhongcheng of the People's Liberation Army. Yeah, Esper was replaced and fired, I do believe. Intelligence indicated that the Chinese Communist Party was concerned about such an attack. Oh, okay, cool. I'm glad that Milley was paying attention to the concerns of the CCP and not to the flag in which he pledged an oath to. You know what? Hey, good. I'm glad that he has his overlord's feelings in mind. My task at that time was to de-escalate. After you figured out that Trump wasn't going to be attacking China, you had to de-escalate? Oh, okay, cool. I see where you're going. My message again was consistent. Stay calm, steady, and de-escalate. We are not going to attack you. Why did you have to tell them? Did you call up every other fucking world leader and say, hey, guess what? Trump's planning to not attack you. What a fucking half-assed apology. The proper apology for this should be, yeah, that's right, I did commit treason and I will be going to jail for a while. A call and another made January 8th of this year were coordinated with Esper, his successor, Christopher Miller, and other U.S. officials, according to Milley. Right. Christopher Miller took over for him. I knew somebody better replaced Esper. But so many people were going in and out of that White House at the time that it was tough to really keep everybody straight. There should be the same thing going on right now, but that's just not the case with Biden's White House because they're all in this shit together now, aren't they? Latter conversation came after the Chinese requested another call take place. Oh, okay, cool. So this wasn't of his own volition that he made that second phone call on January 8th. He was told by the Chinese to follow up again. 8 U.S. officials were on the October 2020 call, and 11 officials were on the January call. Okay, can you name them? Can you provide a fucking attendance list or anything like that? Esper has not commented on the calls when Republicans in Congress say should be probed by current Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin. Yeah, right. He was also answering some questions today, but we can continue to go down this. He's not going to face any fucking repercussions for these treasonous acts because, oh, my boss at the time said it was cool that I did that, but yeah, he hasn't made any statements on the fact, so yeah, that's cool. What about other generals? Yeah, okay, so getting back to Afghanistan specifically, there was a big discrepancy in information and what the public was told, and maybe even what Biden believes himself. Generals recommended to Biden to keep troops in Afghanistan. It's almost like they seen the original plan that Mike Pompeo and the old Secretary of Defense Department and the Pentagon wanted to do, like keep troops there until the evacuation and until the withdrawal can be completed, and then take the troops out. It's almost like, you know what, that's just like standard operating procedure. But Biden just thought, fuck it, I've done this shit before. And it's like, you have no success doing anything, really. So let's see how far this story goes. It might make it to the end of the day, maybe. 2 top-ranking generals on Tuesday said that they recommended to President Joe Biden that he leave U.S. troops in Afghanistan. I recommend that we maintain 2,500 troops in Afghanistan. General Frank McKenzie told members of the Senate panel in Washington. General Mark Milley said he also believed U.S. troops should remain in the Central Asian country. Why not just say Middle East? Everybody knows it that way. And General Scott Miller, who commanded U.S. forces in Afghanistan, made similar comments to senators behind closed doors earlier this month. McKenzie has said he was concerned that a full pullout would lead to inevitable collapse of Afghanistan military forces and eventually the Afghan government. No, Joe Biden said that was not an inevitability. No. They're well trained and they have plenty of equipment there and they could totally look after themselves. You're lying. Even Psaki doesn't want to answer that because she refuses to say whether Biden ignored and lied about Pentagon's advice to keep 2,500 troops in Afghanistan. Biden said on August 18th that he couldn't recall anyone advising him to leave troops in the country. You just have 3 top generals saying, yeah, about 2,500 would do it. Yeah, we should probably leave troops there. Even Milley, your best friend, was saying leave some troops back. So White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki declined to say whether any military official advised President Biden that some 2,500 troops should be left in Afghanistan. In the briefing Tuesday, she said that the president had presented a range of options. None of them were smart, none of them were well thought through, and none of them were, made in consultation with the generals, obviously. But ultimately, regardless of the advice, it's his decision because he rules like a oligarch and everybody else is just, fortunate to be living in Biden's America. Is that what we're going with here? Okay. He's the commander-in-chief. He's the president. He makes decisions about what's in the national interest, and he believed we should end the war at the cost of 13 additional service members' lives and getting back by a drone striking 10 people, 7 kids. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, that's ending the war, right? God, you suck. But look at how they're trying to obfuscate from everything that's happened in Afghanistan just real quickly. Nope. It was Biden's decision. We're moving along on to something else. Both Joint Chiefs of Staff, Chairman Mark Milley, and head of the U.S. Central Command, Mark Frank McKenzie, friends call him Spuds, said they had voiced an opinion to keep a small number of troops in Afghanistan to stave off Taliban control. 2,500 isn't a small force, by the way. Psaki had tried to defend the president against the admission even before her daily briefing. Oh, and she tweeted something out. That's cool. As POTUS told ABC, ending the war in Afghanistan was in our national interest. No. And then he eventually took the podium and said, Trump had already started the process and he left it all on our lap, so we had to take care of the problem. But now we're to the point where this was all Biden's decision and he did a great job. He said advice was split. No. It was ultimately his decision, and he was presented with a range of opinions, even though nobody else had said, you know what, Biden, your plan looks really good and we should go ahead with that one. I would love to see who brought that to the table. Oh, you can't provide that receipt, can you? But consensus of top military advisors was 2,500 troops staying meant escalation. Oh, was that consensus? Oh, okay, cool, because that's different than, how everything played out. Due to a deal with the previous administration. The chairman and General McKenzie all reiterated, she wrote on Twitter. Oh, that's cool. Pressed by what she meant by split during the news briefing, Psaki said, "This news conference is over. Stop asking me mean questions, you misogynist." Oh, there are individuals who came forward with a range of recommendations on what the right path forward looks like. I'm not going to detail all of those because you can't, and because it's made up. You're lying. Stop lying. Why are you lying? There are private conversations and advice to the President of the United States while he played with his oatmeal. And yeah, like we set up at the top, 2,500 is a fair size of a military presence in a place. And when Biden took office, was given office, 3,500 troops were still in Afghanistan. So they were only going to withdraw 1,000? That's interesting. Republican Senator Josh Hawley. I had that pulled up. Oh, well, it's gone now. At least we have it written down here. He finally said what everybody was thinking. He finally said what needed to be said. Here's what I've learned so far. Number one, the President of the United States lied to the American people about the advice you gave him, about the military judgments you provided for him. I think you've all testified to that now repeatedly. Very much so. ABC's George Stephanopoulos pressed the president on reports his top commanders had warned him against a full withdrawal during a sit-down with the president on August 19th, 4 days after Kabul fell to the Taliban. Remember, that was that famous interview where he said, why are we still talking about that? It was like 4 or 5 days ago. 2 days prior, but anyways, numbers and dates are hard for Joe. Your top military advisors warned against withdrawal on the timeline. They wanted you to keep about 2,500 troops, Stephanopoulos said to Biden. No, they didn't. Oh, okay, cool. Biden pushed back. It was split. That wasn't true. The lies! Stop lying. Why are you lying? You're upsetting me. Stop it. I need a blanket. I'm cold. No, they didn't. No, stop. They didn't tell you what they didn't have a time frame. All troops, they didn't argue against that. No, stop it. Fucking liar, dude. Republicans accused Biden of lying to the American people after senators heard on Tuesday that the commander-in-chief was told his senior generals believe 2,500 troops should stay in Afghanistan to prevent a Taliban takeover. Yeah, well, sucks to suck, and we're too late for that. And what else does stupid Psaki have to say? Well, this bitch is finding this press secretary job to be a little bit too taxing for her, I guess. White House press secretary snapped at a reporter on Monday when she was asked about President Joe Biden's sinking poll numbers during a press briefing. Now she just walks off because she's good at her job. And this entire open, honest, and transparent administration, the most open, honest, and transparent administration of all time, is really living up to their billing now, aren't they? On the polling, the president's polling continues to collapse. Robinson, asked at the end of the briefing. Emerald, I know you like to shout at the end, Psaki said. Next time, we'll do it during the briefing. Could have continued. You could have answered that question. But no, you didn't. No, you didn't. Because Biden's numbers keep plummeting. More lies, more, open and fucking honest treason keeps getting admitted. All in these Senate hearings. And nobody cares. Nobody cares because it's all about Delta virus, Delta cases. That's cool. Eventually, we're going to all end up just like back in the fucking early 30s with wheelbarrows full of cash trying to buy a fucking loaf of bread from empty goddamn shelves because The next segment, we got to talk about the debt ceiling. And I don't know a lot about finance, but I found some stuff from some people who do. So if you want to learn more about the impending economic collapse, stick around for the next one. Thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.